Well, this was the pre-show. This was pre-show till now, y'all. Y'all just missed it.
All right, we're gonna go without my little entry. Sorry, I thought I was live, battery Doctor Exclusive. I'm sitting here wondering what y'all are talking about. I hit the live button. It said it went live, and it didn't go live for whatever reason.
Hashtag notice.
But welcome to Big Scott 35, little national talk. I'm going to try this again. I said it to my guests, I guess, but I just not going to talk about yesterday. This is a new day. I just want to thank everybody for the comments and well wishes and all the comments. And I'll be getting back to each of y'all. Text messages, phone calls. I really appreciate it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Saturday's chat and you'll know what I'm talking about. But for tonight, we got really the opening weekend of football. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Big, weekend for first week of everybody seeing how their fantasy teams are doing as well as their real team is doing. Ed, how's your fantasy teams going today?
Pretty sure my fantasy team did terrible. I'm like, Lamar Jackson was atrocious. Not as bad as Joe Burrow, but up there. It's pretty bad. So I think I'm slightly winning by a little bit. I lucked out playing Dave. I think Dave has like the least amount of points, but I don't think it matters because he has like half the Jets roster, and they're playing tomorrow. I'm most likely I'm looking at a loss, but I just had too many players just absolutely do nothing.
Yeah, you can't have that. Can't have that. I was tied at halftime with Diamond Yard. Me and him both had 80.3 points. Go figure. So I think he had he was projected to beat me by 2 points, I think. So projections both dead on. So we got Three River, Battery, Dr. Exclusive. Welcome. Ed,
Scott, you said that about Scott. Can I? Y'all talked. You talked about the fantasy football. I got to interject on college ball real quick.
No, go right ahead.
Two things. One, Disney and Spectrum, y'all suck it. Number two, watch out for Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. If he plays like he has the two last games without getting
Coach Prime, baby, Coach Prime.
I'm telling you, Colorado's looking at a bowl game already, and watch out for Sanders. I'm telling you, he's going to be in the Heisman hunt.
Well, I think Hart.
I'm not saying if he'll win it or not, but he's in the hunt.
I think Hart, the two-way player, is going to take over Tebow as the greatest college player of all time.
But you got to get Prime love, though.
Oh, yes, 100%. We know that. Battery of Go Dogs. Yeah. My Virginia team stinks. I knew that. But to elaborate on what he was talking about, here in our part of North Carolina, Spectrum is the cable company having a fight with Disney and Fox, from what I understand, right? I don't have Spectrum cable.
I do.
So you didn't get to see one of the better games of the weekend, which was UNC App State, which is
in-state rivalry.
Right.
Huge game.
This game's been sold out for a year. Yeah.
They've played the last couple of years. This is the third series. Appalachians in Boone, North Carolina. And so it wasn't even local. I mean, typically you would still see these on our local news networks, and they weren't, even with that contract.
Right.
With the ESPN, you would normally see it because it's that big of a deal.
Right.
And I was pissed off. Greed. And all it is greed.
So, Ed, is your cable companies having any squabbles with either Disney or Fox? Because I'm hearing it all over the country. Is same issue in Philadelphia area?
I haven't had any issues, but I know like I have Comcast as my provider, and I know that they've been upgrading their high speed. So I've been having like service outages probably at least 5 to 6 times for about 6 hours a day in the last 3 weeks. So that's been brutal. That happened during the fantasy draft. Like when we had our fantasy draft, I didn't have no TV or no internet service provider.
Right.
It was terrible. So I don't strongly recommend Comcast, but sports wise, like with college football, the NFL and baseball, there hasn't been any issues. I guess that's because I'm in a big market. So
right. My Hulu, I have Hulu, ESPN Plus, and the Disney Plus package, which I think I started out at like $30 or something a month when I first got that. I just got a notice email the other day. It's going up to $84.99 or something like that. It went up to $49.99. Now it's making because somebody's got to pay what's his face for ESPN and his contract. So, yeah, Jeff McMahon.
Figure all the layoffs, they could afford game.
How's Mike O tonight?
Busy, rough sports day for me.
I'm hearing that we're lucky that with your team losing, though, you got to keep your house. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what the word on the street does.
Arsonist was on the loose, but yeah, they definitely lost that game. I would say, I don't know what the take until is going to be. I'm sure it's going to be a week of bitching, but I would certainly say the Patriots lost that game more than the Eagles won it. The Eagles hung on for dear life. They made plays when they needed to make plays, but a couple turnovers early in the game, kind of poor coaching decisions in the fourth quarter. It was
I definitely agree with that.
Which is what I expected. I mean, all week, and of course, it's going to be I'm local to Philadelphia, so it's going to be a Philadelphia, pro Philadelphia talk. But some of the stuff I was listening to this week, I was like, no, this is where you sit there and go, oh, these fans, these people are idiots. I think and I think this for baseball too. People like to make a big deal about Philadelphia being a knowledgeable sports city, which it is knowledgeable. But much like Ed would probably say about some of the YouTube community, not the YouTube community, that's the wrong phrasing. Collecting community, and that's watch the bleeping games, because I can say for Philadelphia fans know their team, and they'll know once you get to the Super Bowl, but generally speaking, a lot of Philadelphia sports fans, and I'm sure it's like this in most cities, they know very little about the rest of the league. They know their own team, and they'll know a few teams. But the takes I was hearing, blowouts yesterday afternoon, 3-4 o'clock, I'm listening to radio, and people were talking about, well, the Patriots are probably going to be in competition for the number 1 overall pick. I was like, it's like they should have been in the playoffs last year. They had no coaching on offense. They had a few silly plays. I'm like, their defense is actually good. Their defense certainly should be top 10, could be top 5. They do have a legendary coach. Now, the guy is, getting up there in age, and he's kind of showing it with some of his decision-making.
He was brutal
today. Their offense isn't
guys.
horrible. Mac Jones, people, and I guess it's because people lost money and stuff. Mac Jones is not a horrendous quarterback. Is he a long-term answer? Is he a Hall of Famer? Is he going to win a Super Bowl? Probably not. But
he could. I've seen worse.
He excelled and played very well as a rookie.
Right.
And last year, he wasn't as good as you'd want him to be. But they also had the worst offensive coaching right up there in the league. They literally had a guy who didn't know how to do anything coaching the offense. And, they don't have tremendous weapons right now. So
we got Stoff in the house.
They're one of those teams. They're going to win. They have a really hard schedule, so they might win 8 games. They might be good enough to win 10 games and get into the playoffs. The AFC is loaded. The NFC, looks like it has some question marks. There's a couple teams.
Yeah, but the NFC's got to play the AFC too, so it's kind of
but for getting in the postseason,
right. I got you. Yeah. So with football starting, I know, Mike, you picked up some football. Have you picked up any more since the National? Or Ed, have you done any football at all? Or
hold on a second. I definitely agree with Mike O's take.
Okay, go ahead.
The Patriots definitely lost that game more than the Eagles won the game. The Eagles were very lucky to
25-7.
they were very lucky to escape that game with a win. The offense was just so stagnant. They really, really looked so fucking bad. Sorry for the language. We're not monetized on here, so I could drop a couple F bombs, right?
They're not unless
Yeah.
I got to pay money back to them.
Okay.
You might have to. You might get
They,
You can
No.
say anything you want.
I mean, I think there was 5 straight 3-and-out drives, and that's the first time under Jalen Hurts that's happened. Now, the Eagles lost our offensive coordinator from last year, Stain Stetchen. So we have a new offensive coordinator. The play calling was absolutely horrendous. I know I was killing some of the chats that might go, like the private group chats that I'm in with Mike O and a couple different ones of them, but the play calling was just horrendous. These quarterback, like Jalen Hurts is going to wind up getting hurt by he's going to be on the IL by like week 6 or week 7 if they keep doing these design quarterback draws,
What's up,
third
Paul?
and long, 2nd and 12. It's just so idiotic. The play calling was just brutal. I don't think they had they weren't doing any passing plays for, I think, like 2 whole drives. They didn't have a pass. Goddard did not get 1 catch the entire game, even though he was open multiple times. So I don't know. They looked really rusty. They were lucky to get a win. The Patriots definitely lost the game. Bill Belichick had 3 or 4 major blunders in that game. The biggest one definitely being that delay of game. How he didn't call a timeout there.
I don't know. If he would have kicked the field goal and taken the points there in the fourth quarter too, they could have won it at the end. Instead, they had to go for it on 4th down yet again.
Yeah, but how does
And
that
Mac
happen?
Jones threw a good
How does that
pass,
happen?
but once again, they can't. The receivers aren't very good.
I saw
keeping
some
their feet
Pats
in,
fans. I saw some Patriots fans though on Facebook burying Mac Jones over that, calling him out more for the delay game. But I'm like, dude, that's on Belichick. Call a fucking timeout. God damn.
Right.
Shit.
I just so is this Belichick's swan song this year? Is that what we're thinking? Or
I mean,
The
he
game
wants
passed
to.
you by?
He's going to stick around as a coach until he breaks the record. I think he wants to break the record, but we'll see. They have never disclosed because you don't have to. I guess by rule you don't have to disclose coaching contracts and stuff. So no one's ever known what he makes. Kraft might have been paying him $30 million the last 10 years.
I tell you what, they showed Kraft upstairs. He looked kind of showing his age today too, a little bit. I was like, wow.
I think Tom Brady bounced after halftime though, because he was sitting next to Kraft for the first and second quarter. And after halftime, I didn't see him again. Did you notice that, Mike? He was out of there. He's like, I'm getting out of here.
Before
But
they
no,
asked
this
me the
is-
quarterback.
This is a fun time of the year, but it's almost too much. It's almost an overload. Too much sports on because I'm very much still into baseball with the pennant, races and all that going on. So these Sundays to me are thankfully the Phillies played at 1. Of course, they unfortunately blew another game. They've been making an unfortunate habit of that, getting out to an early lead, kind of
Bullpen's a mess.
stop scoring, and then eventually the bullpen gives up a few runs. But a lot of good baseball today too. I was watching some of the Yankees Brewers no hitter into through 10, and then eventually they lost the Brewers, ended up ultimately losing that game. So I mean, baseball was decent today too, outside of the 8 p.m. game, which I get it. Baseball, regular season baseball is not going to compete on any level with the NFL Sunday night, especially opening week. But Rockies Giants Sunday night baseball, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
They're the Giants are the most boring good team in baseball, and the Rockies are the most dreadful team in baseball history maybe to watch. I can't.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Jason Dominguez tearing, what was it,
It
UCL
popped in my
joint?
head.
And so he's got to get Tommy John. Now you'll see the great influx of people.
Yeah, I think the conspiracy theory is that someone from Panini, they hired 2 guys to grab him and twist his arm and tear his UCL to try and, hurt the 24 rookie class for Topps and Fanatics. But I don't know. We'll hear. Someone will make a video about that. Maybe this video will get picked up. Someone will recycle this show.
I'm sure the next couple, within a 24-hour span, you're going to get videos in your feed, either one or the two things. One, you'll get the people that said, "I told you so. You should have bought some dead guys," and then you'll probably get either the second one, which is the pumpers and the shakers who have a dickload of money in Jason Dominguez being like, "Oh, this is the worst thing that could have happened in hobby history. The sky has fallen." So you're going to
And
get.
then eventually rational people
Well, even-
realize they'll probably only miss a couple months.
Yeah, because even with the
Yeah, but
with
we
that,
live in
he can-
hyperbolic
he can
times. Hyperbolic times, baby.
he can still DH with that. Like if he has to go ahead and get the surgery now,
Yeah, but the pumpers and the shakers don't know that. They don't know that it's like the same injury Bryce Harper had. So and Bryce Harper, we saw what he did. It will take a while though to get his power back
what's up, Reese?
because it took Bryce a while.
I was
That
working
a
on my
very
carpal
cynical
tunnel.
take.
sorry.
I apologize for that very cynical take.
Well, y'all at least have something. to
No
look forward
apologies.
to. No apologies here.
We're not woke
my
here.
most-
It's all good.
Yeah. A lot of people are thinking that I'm outside. I mean, it could have a chance of that, I guess, either him or Seta. My thing, I have, as a Mets fan, I have had to gravitate over to the Orioles just so I can have some fun in the playoffs. But Orioles is my American League team. That's my first team.
I'm a little nervous about them though, but we'll see.
I'm not.
I think I
looking
might have
for-
said that in one of the videos I recorded today.
You
but
did, and
I'll root for them, and I think they're kind of playing with house money because they're finally going to
Nope.
be back in the postseason, and they
Nobody thought this
they
was
don't
the
know
year.
better, so they could
Right.
they could go straight up win the World Series. But if they lost in the first or second round, it wouldn't shock me either.
and they'll be back. I mean,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a team that's built for a few. They're kind of like the Astros, the way the
and they should
Astros-
be able to spend some money in the coming years too. Which
Right. Having a closer out is not great, but they just next man up for them.
Maybe the Phillies will go on a run, reach the World Series. The Orioles win a pivotal Game 7 with Kyle Gibson on the
Andy?
mound, and Ed just smashes his head through the wall, live on camera. If that happens, Ed's going to do that. He's going to
That'd
put his
be-
head right through a wall.
That'd be terrible.
But you'll do it, right, Ed?
No.
If that happens,
I don't think
Saying
so.
ain't so.
I mean, sometimes ignorance is bliss in the postseason. 97, 03 Marlins. Yeah, because most people had the Orioles for maybe next year postseason.
yeah, a year away.
2 years running to the World Series, and we might still get to see that. Has anybody in the American League think Gunnar Henderson has a chance for Rookie of the Year?
Interesting.
I mean, I haven't really looked at the comparison of statistics lately, but I'm guessing he's right there now. I mean, the injury to Josh Young, obviously.
So Josh tore it up in the first half of the year. He
Yeah.
was runaway. But then Gunnar has come on in the second half and really been playing well, both defensively and offensively. I just kind of wanted to see what a feeling, the thought is, because anybody watches, me and my dad talked a little bit about that for Monday's show. Monday will be the release of my baseball content.
Monday.
So Dave had picked him before in the Fox Crew. I meant to do that, and I never got around to doing that. I really think that's a great idea. I think, and does anybody think that Acuna has a chance at MVP?
I think he's pretty much a lock at this point. Other than
I think he
Mookie
should
Betts.
win it. I know there was the push for
Betts?
Mookie Betts,
Right, that's what was next thing. It was
and then people are like, "Well, you have Matt Olson. Matt Olson takes away from Acuna." And I'm like, "Well, Freddie Freeman takes away from Betts, so they're like the top 4." And I put Olson as a distant 4. People keep bringing up his 47 home runs. I'm like, Acuna does a little more defensively, stolen bases, batting average is substantially higher. I think it should be Acuna at this point. obviously, as a few weeks, things can change. But I don't know. I'm like as excited as I am for football season to be here. And I know this week and the Sunday, especially, everyone's focus is on the football games. And it's definitely refreshing to see it back. Like I'm still completely invested in baseball beyond just, the Phillies more. They're well on their way to reaching the postseason. So should have some postseason baseball in Philadelphia again in October. But I'm interested to see who makes it in the National League. I'm kind of pulling for some of these young teams. I'd like to see the Reds, but I mean, I feel like they're going to have a tough time getting in. Obviously, the Diamondbacks have been interesting.
Well, as long don't play catch with De La Cruz, for heaven's sake. He'll throw it when you're not looking. I don't know if anybody saw that where he dropped one of his teammates yesterday, I think, before the game started.
But also the player achievements. Yeah, you're talking about the awards and stuff. Like I find that all really interesting to see how that kind of plays out.
Right.
And once we get to the postseason, I think both leagues are open to some degree. I think the Braves will be an obvious favorite in the National League, and the Dodgers are very good and would not shock me if they got it. But I think both of those teams, neither of them have completely locked down pitching staffs.
They've been racked with injuries. The Dodgers are pitching.
And then the American League, I kind of see as wide open. My fearful side is that the Astros are going to find their way right back to the World Series yet again, but we'll see.
Stove wants to know if Cole is is he a Hall guy for the Hall?
He's probably going to get there numbers wise with strikeouts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's a pitcher, so no one cares. At least from a hobby perspective.
And here's Amish Dave, Zach Green. You're right. Greinke Reed again has established himself. He's a different type of pitcher he was. This guy just every year just kind of comes out as a different guy.
He got rocked by his kid the other day. His kid hit one over the fence. And,
really?
Flipped the bat. I mean, they were playing from the warning track or something.
Oh, okay.
But his kid bat flipped him. I was laughing at the video I saw.
You might have a chance there, Three River. I think he's only 2 home runs away right now, I think. Yeah, they really have the achievement thing is it's fun this year. And also I reminded everybody one of our greats of this generation is retiring in Miguel Cabrera. And Nats man, you've been retired. Miguel Cabrera. And if you get a chance to watch him, or if he comes to near you, that's one of the greats that I wish I could have went out and watched him one time. So like I said, I saw him. I believe he's our first ballot. I don't see
without a doubt.
To Marlin rocking the Phillies as a youngster.
Right. And we, seems like every year we're a great retires right now. And I'm waiting to see what Detroit does on their last home game and all that. Should be fun to watch.
Yeah, for those who have MLB TV, don't forget, it's towards the end of the year, some people, start forgetting about it. But there's a lot of stuff to click on. Interesting games that mean something, young teams playing hard, young players playing hard.
Right.
Guys getting called up.
Well, that's even like the Nationals have called up some guys that are just straight up balling right. The Nationals have shown what they got in the future, and they got some players.
I'm glad to call him Garcia back up, even though it's the injury. That's still good because he's been doing pretty good back down at AAA ball. He started hitting some more home runs.
For Amari, it's all going to be if they can stay healthy enough to get that magic 500 mark.
Judge helped himself by having that legendary season. I mean, obviously that doesn't put you in because Maris has never gotten in, even though more people know the name Roger Maris than a whole bunch of other Hall of Famers that kind of had
robbed
25 years. But he's compiled some crazy numbers, but of course health with him. he's gotta have a really strong next 4 or 5 years because I don't see him performing great after 35, 36.
Right. That's the same way their body, and he's already having feet issues, and I know it's from like running into walls and stuff, but at his size, that seems to be the thing: the legs, the knees, the feet, the hips. Those big guys in the outfield. Yeah, Stanton just reached 400. Well, Stanton started what, 20 years old. It seems like he's been playing forever. I remember when he was Michael. But
Like Stanton.
yeah, Mama calls him Mike. I'm gonna call him Mike.
Relevance rookies somewhere. It's refractors or something.
Right. So anybody, any other, anybody pick up anything they want to talk about? Or I did talk a little bit
You
about
gotta
football.
click on all the channels and check out the mail days.
Yeah, mail days. The football reason why I brought it up is just because just the unknowing of what we got coming in the pipeline. I feel bad for the football collectors that buy modern, even at A, it's high price, and B, you don't know when and if it's coming out right now. It's such a limbo time for it.
I think some of the products that have been produced are coming out. So I think Mosaic, some of that stuff will be out fairly soon.
Right.
But someone did bring up a good point today. I saw on Twitter. Someone was asking, hey, are there going to be Panini instant cards this year? Because they're not nearly as popular as Topps now. And I rarely purchase them. I have in the past a little bit. But we'll see. We'll know by tomorrow. We actually probably should know. I didn't think enough to look into it to see if they produced anything after the opening night. But I would think they probably aren't going to produce them based on the current situation, because that would obviously be a brand new product. But we'll see. There'll be some products this year. There already are a couple.
Right.
I haven't personally really bought. Actually, no. I do have a couple. So it'll be at my next mail day. I didn't get to record a mail day, but I got a little stack of stuff. I got a few cards from one of your favorite YouTubers, so I'll show them.
I don't know which one that would be, but
I'm being a little sarcastic there.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to go. I'll find out later. Every time I go to buy football cards, I just can't get over all the variations. Like I don't want to adjust the Phil's Prism Ladybug Refractor. I can't do it. And let me tell you,
Ladybug Refractor sounds like it'd be kind of cool.
Right, and so if it looks like the way Fanatics is with baseball, Chrome this year is on their products. When they get to football, it's on its way the same way. Amari says he's been dabbling in soccer.
Mike O might be opening some soccer tomorrow or the next day.
I haven't seen any. And Victor, my thought with that would be, I don't know how they would put that in this year's product unless it is in.
Could be an update, maybe.
An update, right? And that would be the kind of the only way. And
they talked about it opening day. They haven't said anything since it. I haven't paid enough attention to when guys have made their debut. Are they still like putting the patches on the jerseys? I don't even know.
Right. Yeah, that is something to look forward to. Who was Brian? It was create a taco.
I don't know. Those freaking taco fractors. Have you seen any of the prices on them?
I don't have any even looked at
I've
them.
seen them.
I tried to buy an Edmundo Sosa. That's his only card in Topps Chrome. He has very few Phillies cards. We're bidding on it, and I think it sold for like $350.
And the Josh Harrison sold for like almost $300 with taxes and shipping. Nobody, it was a little over. $300.
Nobody wants Josh Harrison cards. Like
he was DFA'd.
Like
what the fuck?
So
the good players sell for a couple $1,000s. They're outrageous.
Paul C must have cut out, because I know with all these variants, he would have said he at least would want to see an 87 type card. Oh, there he is. Taco Fractor is the only fractor worth mentioning on an 80. I'm surprised he didn't say anything with the 87. Imagine how many Doritos Locos Tacos you could buy for the price of that Taco Fractor card. Oh man. I've been very impressed with the insert tops I put out this year. Yes, me too. And I was sitting there. Ed went away. I just looked away and Ed's gone. I have
Probably bidding on a taco fractor.
yeah. I was putting away my he's back. I was putting away my Alonzo's in my book today, and I was like, how many different tops or chrome did I get this year? And I was like, okay, I filled up one page. Now I'm on the second page, and they're all different. And I was like, this is why I have to take a break just for a little bit. Yeah, so I want to get kind of in the topic and explain about what my topic is. Like, you know, I asked you guys to come on as a roundtable discussion. We don't have to get in deep, but I just want to know, do we really have a community in this? Ed's already touched about, you know, about the Jason Dominguez situation and all, how it's going to be handled by different people. And if we do have a community, is it a loose community? How do we define it? Because we hear it thrown around a lot. And it seemed like we did at the National, and I think we do, but I just wanted a thought of the people we have here. Some of the brightest minds couldn't be here, so I got y'all. But anyway,
I don't blame you.
I just kind of wanted to, and please, anybody in the chat, chime in. Let me know. This is why I wanted to invite as many people as I could tonight on this topic, because how do we feel about that term, and is it done too loosely? I want Ed to talk about it first.
Oh man, we don't want to listen to Ed. He's going to go on for an hour about this bullshit.
Yeah, and then we'll be done.
I really have to go first.
Yes,
This is a hard question to answer, honestly.
it's
It's hard
it is too. Yes.
because I was here 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago.
See, we're already getting the old man on his porch.
But no, YouTube has just fundamentally changed so much, and there's always been different iterations of YouTube and the YouTube, well, in quotations, the community. But it's tough for someone like me, and I see Amish Dave's in the chat, so he'll be able to relate because he's been around just as long as me.
Yeah.
But Mike O as well. It's tough because back then it was really just one community. And I don't know if people truly understand that or can really grasp their mind around that. But there is a community nowadays, but it's just there's pockets of subsets of different communities within it. I guess you could maybe say it's fractured a little bit, but it's tough. It's hard to answer that question.
Yeah.
I agree with what Stofe has put in there. The community is what you're willing to invest into it. I've always said that generally about YouTube. You get what you put into YouTube, and I think some people take YouTube way too seriously. I think a lot of people take video making a little too seriously, but you get what you put into it. That's why when people like, this is going back years ago, but when people always say, "Oh, I make, no one engages with me. I don't get no interaction." Well, you don't put anything into it. You just upload a video and you're not engaging with anyone. You're not conversing with anyone. You're not commenting with anyone. You're not, side chatting with people. You're just putting the video up there and expecting people to come to you. No, it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street, sir. Like, you got to put yourself out there and engage people and actually start the conversation. So I hear people, like, years ago, people were saying that, I don't know. It's definitely way different now. And I've said this multiple times before, like 10, 10, 12, 13, 14 years ago, all the card videos that got posted on YouTube, I could watch any of them and enjoy them. Like whether that be break-in videos, someone doing a box break, a collector's channel, anything like that, any card-related video I could watch. Nowadays, the overwhelming majority of videos that get uploaded to YouTube that are card-related, some of them are absolutely unwatchable. And you couldn't pay me to watch them.
It couldn't pay you to just play them and you sit there and not pay attention to them?
No, like there's always like there's one thing in particular that I don't get, and it really kind of bothers me. Some people have a fascination with certain channels where I'm just like, why? If it bothers you that much, why are you talking about said channel? Why are you giving them energy? Why are you giving them space? Who gives a shit about that channel? Because that's what they want you. They want you to fall into that trap to talk about their channel. They just want the engagement. They want the views. Like, just cut it off. Just cut that off from your circle. Just slim down your circle on what you're watching and excommunicate with that. Because when people talk about, sir, I'm not even going to name what the channels are. You can use your own imagination. But when specific people talk about certain channels, I'm just like, dude, why are you watching that crap? Like, to me, they don't even exist on YouTube because I don't consume or watch anything that they put out. But that's just me.
And that's why I wanted you to go first, Ed, because you've been on here the longest out of any of us. You lapped me. I don't know much longer you've been longer than Mike. But I'm going to have Mike for last. I really want to also, me and Natsman talked about a little bit. Natsman used to be heavy on the channels. And Natsman, you tell us a little bit on what your take or how you feel, without,
I said I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, just a brief synopsis on your take of community and how it's done, and then I'll talk a little bit about it real quick.
There are people in the community that have big hearts. They go out of their way to friendly. They're willing to get to know you as a person. Talk to you during the week. Check on you when you're sick. Send you cards. They know who. They know somebody that's not highly a collectible player and you stuff. They go to the National. They pick you something up at the National. Now, on the other hand, you got people that are in the community. They act like you're their friend. But what I'm trying to say is that they'll watch your video, but then they're going to slam you, and they're going to make it like it's a positive when it's not. And then they're going to go back when you get slammed by somebody, and they're in the same circle. Nobody says nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think those people are in the community. I don't think they're in the community for the right reason. It's also what you put into it as well, but it's once it's also giving back. I got tired of the drama. There was, I was like, I ain't thin skinned. I've been called probably about anything in the book, based on, and there's only a couple on here that I've drank beer in each state with, and it's been to my home, or I'll be willing to meet, and you know who you are. But the others that I don't do, I did this earlier to Spectrum.
Hey, you didn't move since the last time I've been to your house, have you? I mean,
nope.
Okay. I didn't.
Still
Maybe
here,
I was like, maybe he packed up and moved.
No, but I've had some. It's just it's I hate to be the Debbie Downer of the group a little bit, but it's just I mean I said I wasn't going to go off. I just think everybody has a voice, just like not everybody. Listen, a lot of y'all collect vintage. I don't like vintage. I care for vintage, but I still like watching your content. You know, I'm not gonna derail vintage collecting. You know, I'm not gonna say don't go look at that. I mean, I've been to a show with Scott. Scott, you looked at some vintage stuff. Did I badmouth it at all? That was the first time we ever met in person. Did I? You know, but we got people that do that
You were there when I bought that
virtually.
Clemente. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, virtually people do that virtually. I don't know what it is about the power of a screen, not being in the same room with somebody. That's my take, but I think that's social media in general.
Well, you know,
So
I think I'm going to start changing how I call things. I don't know what it is yet, but I am. I've said it before. I'm not. Not a religious man, but I do feel a little blessed for finding this. I didn't know it was out here. Like I said before, 5 years. September 29th, I believe it is. It'll be 5 years for me. I did not realize that. I thought it was 3 or 4. Like Mike said, it's hard to believe when YouTube baseball or sports cards on YouTube didn't start till 2020. But the math doesn't add up. But you know,
Yeah, you got Ed sitting there claiming he's been around for 10 years. They didn't even make baseball cards back then.
and Andy said it. It's changed since he started, and it's changed since I started. It morphed into something else. But like I've always said, I feel like for whatever reason you're in it, and you should be part of it. And I'm taking to heart some of the stuff that Ed said. I need to be more active in the community. I don't think I'm active enough as it is either. I should, you know, be more chatting. Am I doing enough? I can't sit there and tell you to fix your roof if I need to cut my grass. You got to take care of yourself before
Rather you fix the roof than cut the damn grass.
But I'm just saying, you know, you got to be right. You got to be right with yourself and everything before you start trying to point out other people's shortcomings. And that's my 2 cents on it. And I think we do have somewhat of a community. I just think there are cliques in the community. Just like any community, when you go into a high school cafeteria, tables are you sit at your group.
even
and
your
of
workplace.
course, right. I mean, you're going to gravitate to the people that collect like you and have the same joking and how everything way you look at things. You're just going to gravitate to those people. And I just, you know, I just. But I'm going to just say with the stuff that's happened in the last few months, even not week, I just feel like we have lost a little bit of that community. It was so great at the National. Getting to see Dave and Mike take a selfie together, all was right with the world. And then we kind of come back home and it all goes to shit. And I do take it probably, like Ed said, I'm one of the guys that take this probably a little too seriously. I probably should loosen up a little bit and just, you know, I have my friends. I think I have 3 of them here now and a few others that had to work tonight because it's Dallas is playing in the pizza's being sold a lot in Dallas area tonight. So, you know, I just feel like that to me is in a nutshell. I don't know if I explained myself very well, but I usually don't. Mike, what's your take on community? And we talked a little bit the other night on this, but what do you think?
This could be like a 6-hour episode.
No, we're gonna round this up, believe me.
We're on time.
It could be though.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a community of collectors and people who make videos and stuff. Is it as close or as close knit as it used to be? No. Is it possible for it to be that? Probably not. I mean, we're in an age where it's the easiest time in the history of humankind to socialize, to interact with one another. Like, you can literally be anywhere in the world, virtually anywhere in the world, and send a message or call. But yet, just as a society, you become more distant. It's like there's so much easy access that you kind of get spoiled, and next thing you know, you're not talking to people that you think you would outside of just here. I mean, there's so many videos and so many people making videos. I mean, 7-8 years ago, you could follow virtually everyone who was making videos. Of course, there's always going to be some outliers, some people you miss, some people are new. Maybe it takes you a few months to find, but like it is not possible now. Even if you follow only, 100, 150 channels, like it's just not. And especially now, there's so many long form. Like, look at this video. This video is going to end up being over an hour. And Carlos does 4-hour videos.
very well put, Paul C. Very well.
And that was a big no-no
like,
back in the day.
It used to be
Big
5-10 minute videos,
Right.
maybe some 20-25. Like now,
Right.
there's so many hour-long videos. There's so many live videos. There's so many podcasts. And it's like YouTube's not even that big at this point. Like, obviously, yes, people are making them, but like, I mean, Instagram's way, way more popular for the card stuff. And then you have people on Twitter and still people using the forums and all that stuff. Like, just social media in general. So it's most people on YouTube aren't exclusive to YouTube. Some people are, but a lot of people are doing YouTube just to help promote their business. Some people are doing YouTube just as they're doing all the social media things. Some people are on YouTube and then go over and do some of that as well. I don't know. Of course, like the bigger it grows and the more people that are making videos that are part of the larger community, of course, like naturally it's going to break into smaller cliques, if you want to call it that way, or it's smaller communities as well, because it's going to be really difficult to interact with 200 different people. You're going to just fall in line with certain groups, whether it's, I have little group chats with the guys who are Phillies fans, and I have group chats with people I stayed with at the National, where a group chat just starts because, we're staying together, we got to communicate, and then next thing you know, a couple months go by and you're still chatting in it. And of course you're gonna have people, if you're in a little group or people you're friendly with because you really like pre-war stuff, that's naturally gonna happen a little bit. Or if the 90s insert guys are like that a lot as well, that doesn't mean you need to be judgmental of other stuff. And I mean, you saw it at the National, like overall, things aren't going to be perfect, but has doing YouTube videos and getting to meet people enhanced your life in some ways? I think for most people, they would say yes. But things aren't always going to be the glory days either. Just like speaking for myself, I'm horrific at responding to comments. I read every single comment. Like I'll reload a page if I'm doing something, or I think I still have it clicked on for like email things. So like I'll just click through and I read every one. Sometimes I hit the thumbs up button. Sometimes I hit reply. Sometimes I don't. It would take hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to do that. And they're just hours I don't have. Right. Same thing with watching stuff. I try and watch as many videos as I can. Of course, in today's age, I'll watch a lot or listen to certain ones that don't take a watching. Some videos are more of an audio commentary, and I'll listen to that stuff. If there's not a live game on, most of the time I'm listening to something on my phone while I'm driving. I will on occasion listen to some sports talk for a little bit, but generally I'm flipping on and I'm listening through my car.
It sounds like you listen to Philadelphia sports talk to get a little anger out.
I mean, here and there I'll listen. I heard some yesterday, but generally speaking, like, but people are watching on the TV, so you're gonna get less comments. I know some
Right.
people get upset about that. Like, I will post and I'll watch people, and sometimes I'll go back and I'll watch a bunch of videos, and I'm like, oh shit, that video's from 6 months ago. But I'm still gonna watch people's videos. But I can't. You can't physically watch every video.
Right.
Like, unless you build a time machine and you can keep going backwards, or you have a way to slow down time, like, it is not possible to watch every video.
Right.
Unfortunately, you have to be selective.
No, and the community is way more larger now than it was, years ago. So it's pretty much impossible to get to everyone's videos.
And everyone's going to have different, everyone's seeking different things. There's obviously some people out there putting out content daily for sponsors to fulfill contracts, stuff like that. There's people who like to, kind of shake things up a little bit and garner some attention that way. Some people just want to show their cards. Some people want to reflect on cards. Some people make their videos for themselves. Some people make videos to make other people happy. Like, everyone's going to do things differently. A lot of people are selling products. Like, I sell cards. I just today surpassed 30,000 listings finally. It took me forever. But I also collect cards, and that will never change. It's not possible for me to get burned out in the hobby. Do I sometimes have to go, okay, I need to purposely not buy anything expensive because I can't afford to? Yes. And that's when I'll go, okay, let me look for some dollar stuff where I can spend $5 and have fun with it.
Right.
And I'm going to make videos showing off Phillies cards, and if people don't like it, they won't watch. And a lot of people stop watching because they're probably sick of seeing Lenny Dykstra cards. But that's what I'm most passionate about, so that's what I'm going to do. And that's just speaking for myself. I'm not going to sit there and buy Jason Dominguez cards before the UCL tear just to be able to talk about how it's a good investment and get people to watch the videos. But some people do that. But that's, their choice to do. And if eventually you get tired of it, you stop watching it.
I would like to say that I want to maybe clarify something and speak a little bit more on when I was talking about the seriousness factor. When I say people take things too seriously, I want to use this as a particular example. Like, I see a lot of newer people. When I say newer people, I'm going to say people from like 2021, 2022, 2023. I see
people who came once the hobby started.
Well, I see comments, and I just see comments made or in videos or in actual comments on the thing where they're saying, oh, the video's just not right. The sound's a little tiny bit distorted. The video had a little too much glare. Oh, the lighting was off by just a little bit. Oh, the picture quality ain't 4K. Like, at the end of the day, fellas.
Yeah, I did a 4K video. That was a mistake.
Fellas, we make card videos. Okay? This is not serious business. All right? This is not groundbreaking entertainment. Fellas,
speak for yourself.
We make card videos.
I think it's
okay?
groundbreaking.
And maybe some people might not like that, like what I'm saying, but
Amen, Dave.
I have, there's been a lot of mentality changes from my time here on YouTube, and that's one of the old school mentalities that's just ingrained to me. It's just, listen, they're card videos. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what the quality is. I don't care how crappy your video is. Just putting yourself out there, showing what you have a passion for, that's good enough for me. I don't care what you collect. I don't care what the fuck you're showing off. Like, I just want to get more interested in the person behind the camera, like to get to know their story and just build a friendship with them. Like, that's always kind of been my mindset. Like, I don't give a shit what the person showing off. There's videos I watch of people that I'm not really into. Like, when Mike shows Patriot stuff, oh God, I don't want to see any of that, but I'll watch it because I want to see what Mike's buying. I want to see what he's picking up.
Oh shit!
I love
the good news is you don't see too many of them.
Yeah, thank God.
You guys, why people I gravitate to watch is like they're just excited to get a $1 card as they are a $300 card. The cards are what we're here for. And I know we do a lot of chatting now, and not everybody. The talk podcast style is kind of taken over a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, the cards that we do show and get excited, and I love it. One of my favorite videos of the National this year was James Elite Hunter getting that picture he finally thought he never was going to see again back to him. I know he paid a little bit of money for it, but just the enjoyment that he got out of that was awesome. And I'm so glad he got it because my heart sank for him.
I watched that video like a couple weeks late, so I saw the one where it's missing. I was like, "Oh shit!" I immediately was like, "I gotta find out and see what happened." I was like, "Oh
yeah." And I mean,
that was like a great cliffhanger.
Yeah, and he didn't even mean it. But
by the way, I also want to say, like, I don't want to come off like I'm trying to belittle anyone.
No, Ed, it's okay. Everyone knows that this is just a video for you to justify your goddamn Von Hayes collection. It's okay. We're both in this together in our Von Hayes pursuits.
Yeah. I don't want it to come across, though, like I'm trying to say, oh, if you put too much effort into your channel or you take pride in your video production, you're placing your energies in the wrong spot. No. That's not my intention. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, though, is that I don't think that should be, especially for newer people, I don't think you should put much full stock into that. Just, videos are not going to be perfect. Right. Nothing that you do is going to be perfect. Just putting yourself out there, taking that step, and just having fun and going at your own pace. As if you do that, you're going to have a good time. Yeah, if you do that, you're going to have a nice time here. But I can't tell you the amount of people that have come and gone, people that get burned out. There's probably thousands of them that have come and gone over the years, and it's really important that I feel like you have a laid back approach for YouTube, especially if you're doing daily videos.
Yeah,
I missed it.
And you haven't belittled anybody or done anything. I can tell you right now, I would have shut you down.
I will say, to Ed's point, there are a lot of people who at one point, and I don't know if it goes on as much now, but there were a lot of people who felt like they had to do high production stuff to start, and they're going out spending money. And it's like, if you want to really do it, like I used to do more that style stuff, and I like doing it, and it was already equipment I had. I just don't have time for it because you can easily put 4, 5, 6 hours of editing into a video, and it's probably not going to pay off in this format. And guess what? Your videos aren't going to look like Jeff Wilson doesn't make great videos, and Chasing Cardboard and all them. They don't just make great videos showing off the collection. Like they have paid production professional people doing that stuff. So you can't live up to that. What are you going to go out and hire a crew to do this stuff? Like that's why those videos look great, and that's great because for them because that's what they're trying to do. But you're just doing a solo project, and guess what? Cell phones are amazing now. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into those national videos I did. They weren't professional, but I thought they came out pretty well, and that was just by snapping clips with a decent phone and putting a couple of minutes into editing. I didn't spend a lot of time on that stuff.
Well, I did go out this weekend, thanks guys, and buy me a new microphone stand for $40. So it's out of my way.
Perfect timing.
I got one. You can.
That's it. Fine to improve your videos with something like that, but there's people that go out and spend $500 on a microphone and $1,200 on a freaking camera or $1,500 on a camera, and then all that stuff, and then they're spending
just to make a YouTube
hours making a video, and then they're pissed off when they get 87 views.
Right.
It's the topic. How you being you. Don't be somebody you're not. Just be you and roll with it. You'll get comfortable. You'll get the like.
Look, Ed's not
You'll
out of
get the
business yet, and he's been doing videos for 12 years.
By the
Talking through a
way,
jug, not editing shit.
congrats.
Didn't even
I-
show his face for the first 7 years. It took me snapping videos of him to get him to show his face on YouTube.
yes,
He
sir.
can do no wrong. Soto
His
2024.
face reveal is
I'm
on
with
my
you.
channel in the great city of Atlantic City.
Is that the
Open
first
the next
time?
national's gonna
Yeah,
be.
that was the first time.
Wow,
the
I
first
didn't.
time.
I guess I know I was watching you then, but I guess I just didn't realize it. Yeah.
By the way, we're going to rewind the tape here a little bit. Rewind the tape a lot. Amish Dave made a comment a while back. Hold on, let me find it. Where is it at?
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Hold
Y'all
on.
done getting poking the bear.
said-
y'all.
He said it's a community of agendas.
Yes.
A
Yes.
community of agendas. I want to make a quick edit to that. I would say, for a large part, sadly, community of biases. And I have talked to Mike about this ad nauseum in a couple of our group chats. But this is one of the aspects that has crept in, I would say, within the last 4 to 5 years that did not exist prior to this. And it's just like, and it's a hobby-wide issue of just this bias, whether it's a PSA bias, whether it's a SGC bias, whether it's a CGC bias, whether it's a vintage bias, whether it's a
Tag
modern bias. Believe it or not, when they're on the payroll, there is a tag bias. But people just being like brand defenders, and not objectively looking at things and giving honest opinions. I think it's kind of embarrassing that shit goes on, but it is what it is,
Carpe
and that's
diem,
like
baby.
that is a new thing.
You got those
I would
people
say-
biased against CSG because of the 8.5s. Like everyone's biased.
Hey, at least
That's
I ain't
going
on
to
the
Scott.
payroll.
That ain't going to PSA. That's for me. That's going to Scott to get graded.
But
That's
that
going to
CSG.
Scott
I don't
to
have
get
my own.
graded. It's not
I
going
don't
to
have my own
PSA.
grading company yet. I just go to CSG.
No, but that is a thing as someone who's been around. Mike can definitely attest to that as well too. But it gets tiring after a while. It's not as bad as it was a couple years ago during the
Something rough.
pandemic. During
Yeah.
the pandemic, it was really, really bad. But listen, I understand if your whole collection is in PSA slabs or your whole collection's in SGC slabs, and you'll just brand defend to your dying breath. But it just gets really boring and tiring.
It's like nails across a chalkboard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I collect all over the place. I pick up a little bit here and there, but like I said, this is who I am. I'm not going to change for clicks. I'm not going to do things for clicks, and I know some people do, and I do watch. And I said I've seen people start off in one lane and switch lanes, and they saw it work, and they stayed there. But I still watch them because I still think it's entertaining. But you could see why they shifted. It's
Just don't steal
part of our
from
work.
people and regurgitate it.
Who are we talking about? Yeah. So, I mean, Amish Stove, two people over here. Amish Dave did do a cool video on the lake, showing off some cards about a fire, and didn't go in the fire, beside the fire. And
Good
also,
move there.
yeah, Stove.
Save a card.
Stove
Card
did
lives
do
matter.
a real video last week showing cards. A mail day. No, not just I don't know if that's the route he wants to go now, but it was entertaining. That being said, I just wanted to put some food for thought, be a little serious tonight. I know that's not usually my style on these nights, but also have some fun with it. throw it out there. I think we have a very good large majority of good people, and we just shouldn't let the little things like it did to me get to us. And I know it did this week, and I'm just going to move on. Better days. So if anybody else has anything to say, closing.
No, I did watch your video. I watched your video, the one that you're referencing. I watched that today.
Did it make you sad, Ed?
After the Eagles game? Well, no, I appreciate the honesty, though. There stands an honest man. Like, I appreciate that you put yourself out there and that you gave an honest take and that you said your piece. Like, that's what this should be about. You just go and say your piece.
Yeah, and I've gotten,
And respect
like
it.
I said, great reach out. People have, I take all the comments, and I thank you very much, Ed. I thank you, Ed, for saying that.
I thought you were going to say you put them on a bulletin board.
No, just in my mind. But until next time, like, share, be good to each other, and be good. Do something good for somebody else. Mr. Jason Fisher Bike. I love when he says that, and do all that stuff. And be yourselves. Be your original selves out there. Till next time, see ya.
Deuces.
Let's see if the stream will end now. Yeah, I'm clicking it.